Okay, this is interesting. Very interesting because we've been covering this story here since it broke that Steven Spielberg was going to be doing a UFO movie again. And we didn't know exactly what it would be about. We knew Emily Blunt was cast and a lot of other great talent inside of that. But we really didn't know. And when it was announced, I'll put the link, or I'll just put it at one of the end videos when we covered this, that I said, look, Steven Spielberg is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, and Close Encounters is probably one of the movies that's referenced more the most by this community when it comes to what, Jacques Vallée had worked on it and Hynek had worked on it with him, and there was a lot of things that were included in that movie. There were a lot of inside baseball things that he knew about. So when this came about, I was like, okay, well, what's he going to do? Is he going to do another kind of Close Encounters movie, or is he going to do something like War of the Worlds or E.T.? I said, I think it's important considering how much he follows this subject, and he's well read on it. And he did an interview not too long ago where he was talking about it. He's caught up on the terms of the UAP stuff, and he's in the know about the whistleblowers and all this. He knows what's going on. He's been paying attention to it. And I said, the most important thing that I think he could do is make a movie about what's going on today. Make a movie about the fight for actual disclosure, about what they're trying to do, and get the word out there that the inside, almost like the Post, the movie The Post that he made, but for UAP stuff. I hope he does something like that. Now, I don't know if he's going to do a movie like that, but I know I'm a little step closer because they announced the name of the movie has been retitled. It is now called Disclosure. Steven Spielberg's new UFO movie is called Disclosure. This coming from Dark Horizons. Steven Spielberg's new blockbuster film, formerly known as The Dish, has now apparently scored a new title, Disclosure. Yes, the title is the same as Barry Levinson's 1994 steamy thriller based on the Michael Crichton novel and starring Michael Douglas and Demi Moore. The film dealt with workplace sexual harassment, virtual reality, and corporate cost-cutting in the world of CD-ROM manufacturing. Spielberg's next film has nothing to do with any of that, you think? Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson, Coleman Domingo, Wyatt Russell lead the cast of the film. Also interesting that Wyatt Russell is in this, considering that Kurt Russell, big UFO enthusiast, which is said to be a two-hander with a UFO storyline. David Coep penned the film script, but any further plot details are under wraps. Filming is reportedly slated to begin February 28th in New Jersey. Okay, the film, whatever its final title ends up being, will be released theatrically by Universal Pictures May 2026. This is very interesting to me on so many different levels because there's so much going on right now that there was this plan that people are saying, okay, 2025 does this, 2026 does this, 2027 does that. I wonder how much in the know and these types of things Steven Spielberg is in, and what he knows, who he's able to talk to about these things. Because let's say, hypothetically, right? I'm not saying that this is going to happen. The likelihood of it is unlikely. But let's say this happens. Next week is this big announcement from Luna and Moskowitz and all these people that are together doing this big announcement about, let's say, disclosure. Let's say that it indeed does put together that faction of people that both Rounds and Schumer said that they needed a gathering of people to really find out and crack down what's going on. Officials, whether the David Grushes of the world and other people, to find out all the information they can to get the information out to the world, if you will. Let's say that happens. And let's say that happens this year. Let's say they make strides. Let's say the FBI, who's been looking at some things, make strides and things start happening and information starts coming out. And I had on this show a week and a half ago, Ryan Graves, who said that he believes, and other people who have had on the show believe, that disclosure will come one way or another with information. It depends on how much and what exactly we're looking at. Things that will satisfy us, he believes, yes, it will. So let's say that information comes out. And let's say that information, whether it's reverse engineering, the proof that we're not alone, any of those things this year. Let's say that happens, hypothetically. And then Spielberg comes out with a movie in 2026 called The Dish that doesn't have anything to do with this, and it is more kind of fantasy when we've gotten the information that it is indeed not fantasy, and we know that we are not alone. I'm saying, again, hypothetically. Well, then you'd have to change your movie. You don't have to change your movie if you do a movie about the fight for disclosure and the fight to get the information out there and the fight that has been going on forever inside of they're taking real stories that have gone on, fictionalizing them, obviously, and making new characters out of them, but things that, you know, that storyline that Emily Blunt had? Yeah, that's a story that's kind of based on this that happened back in this time. And then, yeah, that's kind of based off. That reminds me of what happened. Oh, that's kind of what happened with Graves when the air pilot that basically stood up and said it. Oh, yeah, that guy's kind of like Grush. And that you take the real life aspects and you put it what's going on. And who better to craft that than Spielberg? That's why I said, like, the Post, when you have a movie like that and you make it exciting with the information, that is how you start to get more people in the mainstream paying attention to this stuff. Also, when Spielberg's started to bring out real events, calling it disclosure, talking about getting the word out to people, and more and less about, oh, it's War of the Worlds and here's this ship, and well, of course, disclosure now, there's aliens out there, they're blowing everybody up out in Boston. This is more of the what would happen and make it as realistic as possible. But obviously, if it's a movie, you want to make it entertaining. But I think it's very interesting that they're using that word disclosure, right? And that, although it's a bit silly, when I was reading it going, well, it's Disclosure was also the Michael Douglas and Demi Moore movie. They know that. They're aware of that. If they keep this title, and there's tons of other movies and songs that have the same names. I mean, there's tons of them. There's tons. It happens all the time. But if you don't want to be confused with that, you just say, okay, let's just change it to something else then. They didn't have to change it to Disclosure. Calling it The Dish, still, Disclosure could confuse people up top unless you know, again, it's a Spielberg movie. Oh, it's a UFO movie. It's called Disclosure. I just want to see when this movie comes out in May of 2026, what is the disclosure world like? Is it the same thing? Or is the same? Am I making the same videos in 2026 going, hey guys, we're getting close here. Someone said they got a big announcement coming up. There, they might show some footage. Hey, I remember when we said that 2 years ago, but this time, this could be it. Or is it like, look at everything that has happened since I made that video back in February of 2025 when they announced that Disclosure was the name of this movie. The movie's coming out, and look at what has happened since. They were filming, and while they were filming, all this information came. They stopped with the script they were working on to add new elements in it because this bombshell was dropped. I mean, that's what we hope, right? But nonetheless, this could be very important. I know this for some people, like, well, it's just a movie. It's just a movie when you have somebody in and going, oh, you know what? I want to make an alien movie. It'd be fun to make an alien movie. And I'm not saying that that's not part of Spielberg's want, but the guy is in the know with this stuff. He pays attention to it. He's not just a casual guy. Oh, who knows? Maybe he follows up on it. He's listening to the news on it. I wouldn't be surprised if he talked to people inside of this community. You don't hear about it as much, but I wouldn't be surprised. So I do not think it is a coincidence that he named this movie that after everything that's going on right now. I just don't. But what do you guys think? Is it coincidence? Or is it planned out? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Thanks for being here today. More stories coming out tomorrow. I'll have some more for you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already, please. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you want to help out the show, I say get something for yourself. I've been telling you all week about our great sponsors. I got 2 of them, Via and Public Rec. Check it out. See you back here tomorrow. All right, let's be honest. Nobody has time anymore for stiff, uncomfortable pants. It's February. It's cold outside. And you deserve to be comfortable. And that's why I keep telling you about Public Rec. The pants are a game changer. The pants are designed to be comfy as your favorite sweats, but way more stylish. Talking about super soft fabric, no stiff seams, and enough stretch to keep up with whatever your day throws at you. Not just about pants. They got a lot of different style options, whether you're working all day in the office, running errands, or just grabbing a drink. Who doesn't want to look sharp without sacrificing comfort? I'm telling you, once you put them on, you're going to wonder why you wore anything else. It's all I get now. Gifts for my wife. It's Public Rec. So this February, treat yourself right because comfort is always in session. Upgrade to Public Rec and feel the difference. Limited time. You can get 20% off at Public Rec. You got to use that code DTE at checkout. Just head to publicrec.com, use that code DTE, then you're all set. Oh, and when they ask you how you found them, you got to be sure to mention our show because it really helps us out. Find your perfect fit and never compromise on comfort again. Public Rec, where comfort rules. Let's get excited again. It's Via time. I'm so excited to have Via back on the show because let's be honest, everybody, 2025 has been all about change. Doesn't matter if it's work, if it's personal stuff, or just the daily grind. It can be hard to keep up, but here's the deal. When things get hectic, you don't have to go through it alone. Embrace the power of nature and elevate your everyday with Via. It's trusted by over 500,000 customers. Via is the Swiss Army knife of wellness. It's dedicated to harnessing the natural beliefs of hemp to create high-quality wellness products, whether you're looking to improve your sleep, focus, recovery, add a little pep to your step, or just get high. Via has something for you. With the products ranging from 0 to 100 milligrams of THC, Via gives you the power to blaze your own trail. I love Via. For me, it's the sleep stuff. I have the gummies that I take right before I go to bed, and I am sleeping well. So if you're 21 and over, check out our link to Via's website in our description and use that code DTE. Why would I want to do that? You get 15% off. And if you're new to Via, you get a free gift of your choice. I promise you, I've been talking about Via now, I guess, for the last 3 or 4 months, and I am so excited to have them back. So please, go and check it out. You will not be disappointed.